Yo, what's up, Breaker fans? This is Rafael from C Manga, and I'm here to give you a review of New Wave Chapter 130. I enjoyed this chapter just as much as the past two. The Breaker's been on a roll these past 3 to 4 weeks, and I'm really impressed with the author's comeback to the series. This chapter set up a lot of, I'd say, premises and plots, devices for the future, with the whole Miram real-world conflict. The Sun-Woo clan, regaining its power and influence in the Sun-Woo world thanks to Shi-Woon. And I'd say the beginning part was, I said, this is what makes me hate Jong-Il so much. The guy is a complete arsehole and creep with no respect or pride. He really needs to die or get the crap beaten out of him. I really wish he got beaten up for more. He was called up someone, and I can't remember who the guy's name is, if he even has a name, but he basically was asking this guy for manpower from the army to shoot down the Sun-Woo clan's helicopter. And this guy's like, is there anything related to do with the you losing the Sun-Woo clan's Jae-Kyu? And he's confused. How do you know this? And it's like, because there's video footage of this, we've seen it. And Sarah Kang, the smart girl she is, as usual, has had the videos spread into various servers and locations overseas, encrypted them, and basically the technical IT guy she had has basically made them downloadable, but they're so encrypted that they can't be deleted. So that evidence is there. She's thought of all plans. And yeah, this is the part I liked. It was a really good scene between Shi-Woon and the Sun-Woo. Shi-Woon is out cold. Everyone's wondering, what's wrong? Like, mostly Jin-Ie, she's concerned and saying, oh, when he awoke and he was mostly using willpower to stay awake, he's completely exhausted. And Elder Kwon still debating about the whole overhaul rebirth. He's thinking, is it really possible he has it? Because the air and feeling around him feels a lot different from before. And Shi-Woon wakes up at this point, but I think he's kind of like sleepwalking. He's delusional, and he's apologizing for being weak and pathetic to Elder Jung. So yeah, he's definitely delusional, and he's saying for failing the Sun-Woo clan, failing to get up and win. And then he says, but I won't lose. It's like, because I'm the Sun-Woo clan guide you gave your life to protect. And that struck everyone in the heart. Jin-Ie cried, and then everyone's really touched by his word. And Elder Kwon puts his hand on his forehead and says, he reassures him, saying that what the courage and obviously strength he displayed was more than enough to the Sun-Woo clan. It's like he needs to rest now. And this kind of puts Shi-Woon at ease, and he starts crying, saying thank you, because I think up to this point he still didn't believe he had the approval of the Sun-Woo clan, but they've more or less told him this now. So I guess he feels, like a load has been taken off, and he's lived up to the promise he made to Elder Jung. So that was a really good scene, and as I said, more character development for him. Jong-Il now, we see he's still trying to insist on attacking the army, using the army to attack the Sun-Woo. Is like, how take that risk? And the guy refuses, said, you're a complete freaking idiot if you try and attack that. It's like, these videos can be shown to everyone in the Miram, and the person who done this obviously thought out this scenario if you were going to attack them while they left. So it's like, if you really want to try this, you're going to be in a lot of crap, because the Miram will bring Kalbaki to the presidential residence, where obviously Jong-Il works, because he's the corresponder between the real world and the Miram world. And he's like, you really want to take that risk? And now this last part of the chapter was really long, but it brought up a lot, because we go back to what's his name again? Is it Kaiser and Miram colors people? Like, they were I think they were the 5 disciples, or the 5 clan leaders or something like that. I can't remember their name, but basically they're like the 5 highest authority in the Miram. And I think it was Kaiser talks about political power in the Miram world and in the real world, and he basically explains what Kalbaki is. It's like, every time someone came into power in the real world, they tried to basically incorporate the Miram world into the real world so they could watch their activities, because obviously no one in the real world likes the Miram world, because they're their own thing, they're secret, and they're like, their own society. But obviously the Mirim wasn't like that, so they performed Kalbaki, which is basically they would the Mirim would sneak into the the political person's of power's bedroom and stab a sword into their pillow, basically saying that we can kill you at any time, and that would make them back off. And from the following things after, it's like basically it's just a discussion with Kaiser about whether the martial artists are needed in this current society, because in the current day there's like they have all this high tech robotic soldiers or something like that, and basically weaponry that um, martial artists obviously don't possess, and they're trying to say that they don't need it. But I think I can't remember which one of the blue leaders, he was also, or one, I think no, it wasn't blue, it was red or something like that, basically says the Phantom Knights were shocking, but it was just an ambush. If you guys remember back then when the Phantom Knights came in and they basically slaughtered the army that the Murim think are the elites. And Kaiser basically brings in a maid, and she's pushing a dinner plate, and she reveals the lid, and there's the head of the blue Murim guy, and he was apparently leaking information of the Five Council, which is the Murim, all the colours guys, and they basically information on regarding them, and he explains that he underestimated Kaiser and the Shadow Warriors, thinking that they didn't have any influence or eyes in the CIA or MI6. And he also goes on to explain that Blue was apparently the person who had the highest technology in all the world, was supposedly superior to martial artists, and that would protect him. But the Shadow Warriors proved it wrong, because they got in and they managed to do this to him, beat him up. And he says, if we have this kind of power and these people, that means we can control the world. And he goes to say, I have these people, so technically I have the world in my pockets. And even though he's performed this action against Blue and shocked the others, it's like they're still unconvinced. It's like, you really think this is going to prove anything to us? And he smirks and basically says, okay, no need to worry about that. And we go to another scene. We see an airport, and we see Chun-Woo, the Nine Knots, again in the manga, and he says, I have the Nine Knots moving to take Seoul, which is a city that Chun-Woo had asked for before. He said, if you want me to join the forces that Kaiser leads. And that's basically saying, he's gloating, saying, I've got this Nine Knots under my control now, so is that not enough proof for you? And that's that looks like that's the big gun he's been holding back all this time against him, and now that most likely will convince them. And so yeah, that was really good to see this in the chapter. Assuming there's going to be a lot of conflict, because if Chun-Woo is now kind of on that side, and the Il-1 Moon School, we don't know what his allegiance is. It's like if what's her is it Chung-Ho? I can't remember her name. If she was revived, she most likely would follow the Nine Arts. So there's going to be a lot of conflict between allies and things like that. Imagine what Shi-Woon's going to have to think and do if he finds out his old master is now with the people, SUC, who beat up his mom. That's going to cause a lot of conflict and a lot of rifts between him. And yeah, so it's really a lot of things to be looking forward to in the future. Like I said, I think New Ways will be ended soon, and Part 3 will begin eventually, and we're going to have a lot of war in the Mirim world, and Sun-Woo is going to be a big major influence in that. So it kind of explains why Shi-Woon needed such a big power, because he's going to be a main player in this whole game that the Kaiser started in the Mirim. So it's a lot of things to look forward to, and I'm definitely looking forward to seeing it. I'm looking forward to seeing when Chung-Woo and Shi-Woon meets again, because I think there's going to be a very tense emotional meeting, and so really do expect to see a lot of drama in the series from now on. So yeah, it looks like the game has been set from this chapter. Now we just got to wait and see what will happen, and what moves are going to be done from now. So yeah, it's really good to see. That's all I can say for today. I'm not going to talk too much. I'm looking forward to part 3 of the Breaker, and yeah, there's a lot of drama to expect in the future. So as usual, what do you guys think? What are you expecting to see? Predictions, anything, opinions on this chapter, let me know. Also, if you like the video, give us a like 'cause it helps us out, and also subscribe for more content in the channel, and I'll speak to you guys next time.